I graduated from Trinity in May of 2005, and I went to law school for one reason, and that was to see the end of abortion in America. And I enrolled in Trinity because I wanted to be part of an institution that formed students who would transform the world through Christ. I believed in the mission statement, and I still do believe in the mission statement. I could have learned the law at any other school, and I could have saved myself a 150-mile-a-day commute. But I didn't want to merely learn the law as it is. I wanted to learn the law as it should be. Most of all, I wanted to learn how we came to that great chasm between the law as it is and the law as it ought to be, such that we champion human rights across the globe, yet we cannot protect even the most very vulnerable among us. And I did learn those things, and so much more. I learned that there is a law above the law, a law which every human being can apprehend and to which every human being strives, because we know it is right. The law that reveals the mind of God and is engraved on the tablets of human hearts. I learned that we can measure justice by the extent to which our human laws comport with that law. 1 year after I graduated from Trinity, as Kevin said, I moved to Washington, D.C. to work on Capitol Hill, and there I learned other things. I learned that many people who claim to be intent on upholding the higher law could not even articulate a coherent defense for the most basic of constitutional rights, the protection of innocent human life. And I learned that members of Congress who were believers in the revealed law could not adequately provide a justification for the defense of marriage as a union between one man and one woman. And I learned that the expensive, prestigious universities training our next generation of congressmen, senators, Supreme Court justices, and presidents also consider themselves institutions that form students to transform the world. They teach the law of man wrestled from the grasp of reason and plunged headlong into the abyss of will. They are steadfast, focused, diligent, and persevering. They remind me of the locusts in Joel 2. They don't break ranks, they march in straight lines, they don't swerve from the path. Their effectiveness can be measured by the distance between the law that is and the law that should be. By the looks of it, they have been successful, but they have not been victorious. I won't say that I don't get discouraged at times. Trinity is a small school. We have a lot of, we don't have a lot of name recognition, and I can't count the times people have asked me where I went to law school, and on my response, just looked at me with a blank stare. But I can tell you that Trinity is making a difference. It's true we don't transform the world through a multitude of buildings or endowments or other accoutrements of the Ivy League. We transform the world through the power of the risen Christ, and He is sufficient. As I sat down to write this, I realized that we have graduates in Washington, D.C. and across the nation who are shaping public policy, engaging the public square, influencing key leaders who are key leaders, who are drafting legislation, building coalitions, protecting human life, and upholding the law above the law. Our little law and graduate school is changing hearts and minds, changing our communities, our cities, our nation, our world, through and for Jesus, just as we said we would. Jesus said, "Let us work while it is still day." There is certainly plenty of work left to be done. Last year, we saw the first real decline in abortion rates in nearly 30 years. Still, today, over 3,200 unborn Americans will die. There remains a great divide between what is and what should be. My prayer is that Trinity will continue to produce students who will give their all to close that gap. Thank you.